Hey everybody, what is going on? It is Dan Baird with the Rumination Project. Welcome back. We are back live on Misfit Island again after our little hiatus. As always, my co-host Rhino here for our
Hi,
Mental Health
everybody.
Monday podcast here. Thank you all for joining us here. Got everything all set up here. Thanks for joining us.
Absolutely. Thanks, guys. Good to see everybody again. Thanks for coming in.
I hope everybody's having a great Monday. Great start to their holiday week. I know there's a lot of holiday stuff going on for people Thursday and Friday. I hope that this week is the beginning of something nice. I myself have kind of on vacation. Roofing season's over, so I'm kind of taking it a little more easier this week myself. So I hope everybody's having a great week. And we took a little time off, and now we're back. Tonight we're going to be talking about love. I think it's a good topic to talk about because it's something that I've been going through myself, whether or not you experience love or whether you experience the opposite side of love or the effects of love, such as heartache and heartbreak. So we're kind of going to talk about that tonight, talk about the science, talk about everything, the chemistry, and how it all works. And we're going to include talking about loving yourself, which is important as well, something that we don't talk about enough.
Absolutely.
But what's going on, Misty? Mike, what's going on?
Hey, Mike. Hi, Misty. Hi, Shannon.
Tiffany, Alec, thank you guys all for joining us. Cody, what's going on?
Absolutely. Hope everybody's doing awesome tonight.
Yeah, tag your friends in. Come over here to Misfit Island. We do have a giveaway tonight as well. We're going to do give away some lion's mane. And I'm going to set that giveaway up here before we start talking, and we'll talk a little bit about lion's mane as well here. Yeah, self-love is where true happiness starts, for sure. Let me get that giveaway set up. And every Mental Health Monday, I do plan on giving away a bottle of lion's mane. So I think it's an amazing stuff, and I love giving it into new people's hands who have never tried it, so they can see the effects of it, and so we can talk a little bit more about it. Lion's mane is a natural substance that really, really is good for mental health, and has really helped me a lot as well, especially the last 5 weeks since I've been on vacation. So not on vacation, but in a vacation from podcasting, I should say.
Yeah, I love the lion's mane. I can definitely tell the benefits I've got from it since I've been taking it. I've been taking it about 5 months now, something like that. I'm not keeping track really. I know it does. It does amazing things.
And that we'll do the hashtag lion's mane tonight again. And the win is you're going to get 60. This is a whole month's worth of lion's mane. The recommended dosage is 2 per day. There's 60 capsules in here, so you'll get enough to do for 30 days. And if anybody else is interested in it as well, I do sell it on my website, which you can see there at the bottom of the screen, greatrivermushrooms.com. I try to be the lowest price on the market, so it's $13 for a month's supply. If you live locally, it's $13. Shipping's about $5 to $6. So
it's super fast, super speedy.
Yep, and I try to be the most affordable, and we're a small business, so try to keep it competitive with all the other people who sell it on Amazon mostly. But for those of you who don't know about lion's mane, I'll just play this little commercial I have here that really talks about what lion's mane does. And let me bring that back up here. And I have that.
That's awesome, Sherry. I hear good things about that reishi mushrooms and the turkey tail.
This little 1-minute video will play real quick here.
Lion's mane mushroom benefits. Support your brain health, boost your focus and memory, and improve your mood with this nootropic shroom. Brain health. Lion's mane mushroom stimulates nerve growth factor, NGF, and brain-derived neurotrophic factor, BDNF, which jumpstart the production of new cells, strengthen existing ones, and increase brain plasticity. Alleviates symptoms of neurodegenerative diseases. Lion's mane mushroom improves cognitive function, protects against the effects of Parkinson's and Alzheimer's, and reduces inflammation. It provides your body with antioxidants.
Hey, Colin.
Antioxidants help you make more BDNF and neutralize free radicals. Free radicals cause inflammation and damage to your brain cells. Improves mood and focus. Lion's mane mushroom reduces depression and anxiety. It promotes learning, memory, and attention. It also improves blood flow, which brings more oxygen to your noggin. How to take it. It tastes like fishy dirt, so it doesn't mix well with other foods or drinks. Instead, try it in capsule, extract, or powder form, but buyer beware. Make sure the company discloses how much active compound versus filler you're getting. Learn more at blog.bulletproof.com and subscribe to Bulletproof on YouTube today. Lion's mane mushroom.
There you go. A little short video. It kind of really describes what lion's mane does. It's basically brain food. It is very, very, very good for your brain. You can actually take you could take probably 10 of these a day and you can't overdose on it. It's very safe for your brain. I take about 3 a day, but I have a very fast metabolism, so I need a little bit more. But it really depends on your metabolism, how old you are, your age, and everything else to how much you should take. But you can definitely notice a difference when you get the right amount.
Absolutely. I've been taking, like I said, about 5 months, and it's helped me a lot with my focus and my memory, and it helps with my gut health as well. So there's a lot of good positive aspects of lion's mane. If you haven't tried it, I'd suggest giving it a try. At least a month, just to see what it makes any changes for you.
It's usually immediately you notice the difference.
Yeah, I noticed it within a week or two. I was,
Right. Yeah, for sure. It's definitely really good for MS. Any kind of neurological disease, it really helps. It really has an effect on the nervous system. Stomach issues, as Shannon said, it has an effect on ulcers. It has an effect on your energy levels during the day. It's more of a natural energy more than coffee is. And it helps alleviate mild anxiety and depression. So the mild anxiety and depression is really beneficial. So it's not going to really relieve you of a heavy depression or heavy anxiety, but it does benefit people who mildly struggle with it.
Absolutely.
And also, we're talking about love tonight, so I want people to share their stories about love. I know a lot of people. We had a lot of people last night talk about what they were thankful for, and a lot of people seem to be thankful for their significant other. So I imagine there's a lot of love that the greatest love that they have is usually their significant other or their child. But I'm not sure we can love somebody more than anything. Love is kind of one of those things that you feel, same among other people. You know what I mean, Rostin?
Yeah, absolutely. My wife and I have been married 20 years, and we have an unconditional love for each other. And it grows. It's since I love her more today than the day I first met her. It's just there's things that we grow together. We do this and that together. We have I believe we share a heart. Because she's she's my lobster, I like to say, and you mate for life.
Yeah.
And it's funny because I think the video or something shows something about mating for life. The video he's showing later, but it's really neat to have been able to experience love. And one of the things that I've learned in my recovery is love. An acronym for love is let others voluntarily evolve. If I truly love a person, I'm going to let them be themselves and let them grow themselves. Of course, I'll be there with them. Me and my wife grow together. But if I truly love a person, I'm not going to force me on them. Love is something that you feel. It's not something that you're given, I guess you could say.
I guess that's a good question to ask, and I'll put it there at the bottom. It's like last night we asked the question, what is one that I totally added another what in there. Let me fix that. In what way do you love yourself in your life? I think that's important. That's a easier or kind of a question instead of who do you love, because we all love everybody equally most of the time, I guess.
Yeah.
We love more than others, but
I love almost everybody. There's some I don't like very much, but
But people can share how, in what way do you love yourself in your life? Like, do you do, self isolate, or, spend time alone? Do you, meditate? Do you take your own vacations? Do you buy yourself something nice around the holidays?
I allow myself to feel. I used to fight feelings and try to stuff things and push things away. But one of the things I've learned about loving yourself is being able to embrace your feelings, and learn about yourself, and that's one of the things that I'm on my recovery journey is I'm learning about me, my limitations, my wants, my needs, my necessities, stuff like that, and being gentle with myself.
Yeah.
Spending time with family. That's right, Alec. Meditation daily and be present. That's an important one too, Shannon. Being present in the moment.
I like to spend time out in nature. That seems to help me reflect in self-love. Nature is it's a great place to be.
It is. And I realized this fall that I didn't do enough of that this summer. That's a goal of mine next summer, is spend more time out in nature.
I thought I pinned the wrong video. I'm not for good. Near the water. Yeah, for sure. I'm a Cancer, so I do like the water a lot. It seems to be a place that I like, and I live near 5 minutes away from the Mississippi River, so it's nice to have the woods and the river right there. So you're definitely right. Near the water is definitely a place to meditate, find self-reflection.
Yeah, the float. Some of you know, I know Dan does. I went on a canoe trip this past summer. It was like our 33rd or something like that annual. We've been going since we were kids. And the theme's a little different. It used to be a big drunk fest and party fest. Now we're in, in tents and stuff. Now we're in cabins, and and we're taking care of ourselves. We're sleeping in beds and not, jumping off of things and hurting ourselves. But anyway, being out there in nature, I was able to wake up in the morning. I slept on a screened-in porch on a bed out there, and it was really, really peaceful. And I was able to wake up and hear the birds and do a nice meditation. And oh my God, it was just so very, very peaceful.
Oops. Those are all great comments. Those are all things that would definitely help you self-love. But tonight we're also going to talk about, the chemistry of love. There's a lot of stuff that goes on with dopamine and these other chemicals in your brain that really help you fall in love, and then help you might not fall in love. And it's good to understand how your brain works when you go into relationships, so as they call it, the honeymoon stage is actually a brain process that happens in our brain, and it actually this dopamine and this oxytocin block the brain's ability to look clearly at somebody and not see their faults or things down the road that could be, trouble in a relationship. And that's why the honeymoon stage ends. A lot of people go into, have trouble with relationships because they don't acknowledge that actually happens in the brain,
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's really why we see a big divorce rate, is because we don't educate people enough on that. Like, people need to know that there literally is a honeymoon stage that happens in our brain chemistry. And that eventually that will be over, and you have to be prepared for that. You have to be close to the person and communicate good in order to, make it work. So that's what we're kind of here tonight to talk about too, to kind of educate on that portion of what love is. It's actually a whole bunch of body processes that happen in our bodies and brains in order to feel this profound feeling that I shouldn't say that. I used to think that not very many species on Earth felt love, but now I believe that there are a lot of animals on Earth that experience what love is. And but whether we experience it to evolve as a species, or to why we really experience it is a mystery, or how it happened. How love evolved to this chemical that we have in our brain, the ability, to feel this very deep connection to somebody else is one of the most amazing things to do as a human, I think.
Mm-hmm. It's funny you mentioned the honeymoon stage, because in recovery we also have a honeymoon stage where everything's all great and grand and nice and everything's perfect and going smooth, but that does come to an end. Reality kicks in, and and that honeymoon phase kind of phases out a little bit, and we got to be prepared for that. And it's not a bad thing. It's not that it like totally goes south, but it just means that that initial spark has fizzled out a little bit. Hi Debbie, hi Brenda and Terry.
Why it seems to be like the average divorce rate seems to be about a year, because I think they say that the honeymoon stage is about 6 to 8 months, maybe sometimes longer, when you first start dating somebody and you really feel that energy and spark between you, the person, and eventually that does fade. But there are ways to keep it going as well, and there are people who are married for a very long time who talk about how they do that. So it's very good to listen to those people who are married for 50 plus years, and how they do it.
Big one for us is clear communication.
Clear communication, for sure. Thanks for joining us, Debbie. Appreciate it.
Yes. Hope your birthday was good yesterday.
Yeah. What's going on, Terry? Wayne Cruz, 23 years.
23 years. That's awesome, buddy.
Yeah,
congrats. And you two have, I see you two together, or the way you talk, Wayne, and you two are like me and Patty too. Got that comfortable, unconditional love for each other. It's very great. I love seeing that in other people too.
Yeah, they seem to communicate well. That's what the most important thing to a lasting relationship is. Definitely communication.
Absolutely. 10 years is nice.
Being open and blunt, basically.
Mm-hmm.
What's going on, Brenda? How you doing? Brenda?
Yep.
I almost forget that.
My mom's name was Brenda, so I get it mixed up, and I'll call her Brenda sometimes, but I'm sure she's like, yeah, that's okay. She hears it all the time on here, I'm sure.
But there is a great video here.
That's awesome.
The Science of Falling in Love. They'll actually play. It's 6 minutes long, but it is full packed of actually information and of things you've probably experienced in your life, and because we all have these feelings in our head, and these kind of really explain how they work, how they don't work, with the bad things of it, and so I was going to play this, and then we'll have kind of more of a discussion here. But please keep sharing your comments there. How do you love yourself in your life? Struggling to keep saying that. In what way do you love yourself in your life? And pop that video back up. But again, there's a Lion's Mane as well. Hashtag Lion's Mane. We're giving away a bottle of that, so you're welcome to enter into that. Got the bottle right here. Ship it out tomorrow to whoever wins that. Yeah, for sure. Congrats with everyone with the lasting relationships. That's for sure.
And the good thing is we always have friends, Pam. You guys can always reach out to me. Even if you just want to hang out and get, have a session or something, we can always get on here and do that.
This is actually a TED Talk, and that's the reason I shared it, because TED Talks, especially the shorter ones, they're usually packed with information because they load so much stuff in it in a short amount of time. Let me turn that music off, and I'll start playing this, and then we'll kind of discuss as we go along here or afterwards. So.
Love is often described as heartwarming, heart-wrenching, and even heartbreaking. So what does the brain have to do with it? Everything. The journey from first spark to last tear is guided by a symphony of neurochemicals and brain systems.
It is a little cheesy at times, but it does explain how all of the relationships work anyway. It was cheesy.
As you begin to fall for someone, you may find yourself excessively daydreaming about them and wanting to spend more and more time together. This first stage of love is what psychologists call infatuation or passionate love. Your new relationship can feel almost intoxicating. And when it comes to the brain, that's not far from the truth. Infatuated individuals show increased activation in the ventral tegmental area. The VTA is the reward processing and motivation hub of the brain, firing when you do things like eat a sweet treat, quench your thirst, or in more extreme cases, take drugs of abuse. Activation releases the feel-good neurotransmitter dopamine, teaching your brain to repeat behaviors in anticipation of receiving the same initial reward. This increased VTA activity is the reason love's not only euphoric, but also draws you towards your new partner. At this first stage, it may be hard to see any faults in your new perfect partner. This haze is thanks to love's influence on higher cortical brain regions. Some newly infatuated individuals show decreased activity in the brain's cognitive center, the prefrontal cortex. As activation of this region allows us to engage in critical thought and pass judgment, it's not surprising we tend to see new relationships through rose-colored glasses. While this first stage of love can be an intense roller coaster of emotions and brain activity, it typically only lasts a few months, making way for the more long-lasting stage of love known as attachment, or compassionate love. As your relationship develops, you may feel more relaxed and committed to your partner, thanks in large part to two hormones, oxytocin and vasopressin. Known as pair bonding hormones, they signal trust, feelings of social support, and attachment. In this way, romantic love is not unlike other forms of love, as these hormones also help bond families and friendships. Further, oxytocin can inhibit the release of stress hormones, which is why spending time with a loved one can feel so relaxing. As early love's suspension of judgment fades, it can be replaced by a more honest understanding and deeper connection.
Hi, Lisa.
Alternatively, as your rose-colored glasses begin to lose their tint, problems in your relationship may become more evident.
Hi, Karen.
No matter the reason a relationship ends, we can blame the ache and pain that accompanies heartbreak on the brain. The distress of a breakup activates the insular cortex, a region that processes pain, both physical, like spraining your ankle, as well as social, like the feelings of rejection. As days pass, you may find yourself once again daydreaming about or craving contact with your lost partner. The drive to reach out may feel overwhelming, like an extreme hunger or thirst. When looking at photos of a former partner, heartbroken individuals again show increased activity in the VTA, the motivation and reward center that drove feelings of longing during the initial stages of the relationship. This emotional whirlwind also likely activates your body's alarm system, the stress axis, leaving you feeling shaken and restless. As time goes on, higher cortical regions, which oversee reasoning and impulse control, can pump the brakes on this distress and craving signaling. Given that these regions are still maturing and making connections through adolescence, it's no wonder that first heartbreak can feel particularly agonizing.
Oh, John Doe.
Activities like exercise, spending time with friends, or even listening to your favorite song can tame this heartbreak stress response, while also triggering the release of feel-good neurotransmitter dopamine. And given time and the support, most can heal and learn from even the most devastating heartbreak. Did you know that you spend a third to half of your day daydreaming? And according to scientists, that may be a good thing. Learn how boredom.
But that was a very informational video. And it also shows that love is a chemical bond that can happen between man and man, and woman and woman, man and woman. We are a very complex species. We are one of the few mammals on Earth that have relationships like we do. And I know that we know that whales and dolphins have similar kind of relationships in groups, but human brains we're so complex that as a lot of that video showed, there's a lot of very complex processes that go on in our brain for us to actually experience love at the level that we do, and feel heartbreak as well, and as we do. And that heartbreak, accumulates in our heart and our brain over time, and it makes us kind of makes us traumatized, or causes PTSD in a way. It makes us scared to love again, because we don't want to feel that heartbreak, because it's so hard to, it's so devastating to our brain.
Sure. And then breakups and stuff like that, whether it be a romantic relationship or a friendship or whatever it may be, it can be heartbreaking, and that pain is real. One of the things that talked about in there is doing different things, like listening to music, and this kind of like what I talked about this morning. Coping skill is move the muscle, change the thought. Get your mind off of things. Go get busy, go hang out with a friend or something like that. You might not feel like it sometimes, but kind of sometimes we got to push ourselves a little bit, and embrace the suck. It sucks to have to just get in there and do it, but sometimes you have to embrace the suck and get in there and do it. It turns out to be better. Sometimes I do things I can't really believe in, or I don't really want to do, but I usually get answers I can't deny. So it's well worth it.
Yeah. And heartbreak is one of the reasons I kind of, took a break myself. I experienced some pretty devastating heartbreak myself about a year ago, and I still am processing it. And then, according to that video, it says that feeling can stick around for years, and maybe sometimes never go away. You may love somebody for the rest of your life, even though you're not with them anymore. And that feeling, sometimes you have to separate it, kind of let go of the person, but still know that you love them. And some people struggle with that. And myself, recently, that's why I took time to deal with my own personal life and to deal with, my job and, where I wanted to go in my life the last 5 weeks. So that's why I started this episode with love, because the fact that, you can experience love, but you can also experience pretty severe heartbreak. And we all are capable of, nobody's not capable of not feeling that, or feeling love, or, not feeling love.
And I want to take this just a quick second to say good job, Dan, and me as well. That's one of the things, you guys, if we take a little hiatus for a little bit, it's because we're taking care of ourselves. That's what we preach, and we practice what we preach, because it's so important to take care of yourself and put that oxygen mask on there, so you can be there for your loved ones or the people that look up to you and stuff like that. So it's always important to make sure you take care of your own health, so you can be there for others. Speaking of love, hi, gorgeous. What you doing?
Nothing, my dad.
Your dad was ready.
That's a sign of love.
Absolutely.
How you doing?
Good. How are you doing?
Pretty good.
But yeah, I feel like I'm not even the same person I was 5 weeks ago. I feel like profoundly different for the fact that I took this time off, and took time to figure out where my life was going, not only, with what I wanted to do, but financially as well. There's a lot of financial reasons I've been making choices behind the scene. And I took a new job as a as basically a project manager for a new company that starts in the spring, and I'm really excited for the opportunity that comes with that. With basically, making more income is going to be one of the big things, but I'll still be doing the mushroom farming, and I'll still be doing the Rumination Project podcast, but I'll just be a little bit more busier. Not that I'm not used to it, but I totally believe now that in the last 5 weeks since I've reflected that, I think that 2024 is going to be the best year of my life, and I really do believe that every day in my heart. And we're almost to 2024 already. It's almost crazy to believe we're almost to 2024.
She said, "Thank you, Wayne."
But I love at the end of the year reflecting on what I want to do in the next year, and I think that the next 5 weeks everybody should. It's really a great way to set goals for next year, and know that the best is yet to come, because I truly believe mine is, and everybody is capable of great healing and coming around. Because a lot of people don't know, 4 years ago I was suicidal, and it's really hard to believe this transition I made to what I am now, and I'm really proud of that.
That's awesome, buddy. Hey, don't read the comments. By the way, I just want to tell you, a good friend of ours, Jeremy Phelps, said hi.
Oh, what's going on?
The comment says, "So you might say hello, okay, to some stranger in case Rasta Rhino forgot." Yes, Rasta Rhino forgot.
And I have a picture that, and I'll probably share it sometime this month. I have a picture of the night I took when I was very suicidal. It was the night before I actually got diagnosed with bipolar. So it was, I was just not in a good place. And it was actually about this time of the year, 4 years ago. And so, to be in a completely different place, to believe different things, to have a whole different mindset and concept of what I believe this place is, and is pretty amazing.
It is. That's awesome, buddy. I'm glad you're getting somewhere in your journey. And anytime we grow, sometimes it's hard for us to see the growth, when we're growing ourselves,
Yeah.
and that's why, I like to tell Dan once in a while, or anybody, hey man, you're doing good. Thanks, for showing me it's possible, because it is, it's good to see someone else recover, because it shows hope. And that's why we share openly about our recovery, because letting you guys know recovery is possible and it has no limits.
Yeah, and you don't have to be, addicted to a substance or anything like that. You can just be in a bad place in your mind and not believe in yourself, and have a loud ego that, that you have to learn how to silence, and learn how to be confident in yourself. And that's really how you overcome mental illness.
Absolutely. And yeah, just FYI, guys, whenever I speak about recovery, it means recovery, period. That means mental health, addiction, we're all recovering from something.
Jeremy. Yeah, for sure, Ryan, or Jeremy. We're always here for you too, buddy.
Right on, Jeremy. Thank you, buddy. Much
good
love,
to see
my
you.
friend.
Good to see you again. I haven't seen some of you, well, because I haven't been on a podcast for a while, but good to see
Right.
some back. And good to see some new faces in here. There are some new names I've never seen, so I appreciate it. And don't forget to hit those reaction buttons tonight. Hit those love buttons, and get in that Lion's Mane giveaway as well. That we're giving away a bottle of Lion's Mane.
Absolutely. Right on, Shannon. Good for you, hon. Yeah, a lot of us have been there, and it's just, sometimes with mental health, it's hard to fight them thoughts, and just know I'm always out there, guys. If you need to talk about it, I know it's not easy. We talk about suicidal awareness, that doesn't mean it's easy. And just because we say it's awareness doesn't mean that, you want to get out there and blurt it out to everybody, but if you want some non-judgmental ear or whatever, and you just want to talk to somebody, I'm there, just get a hold of me. I want that out there just so you guys know that there's at least one person out there, or two that, and there's plenty. There's way more than that. I'm just right here. I can speak for myself and say, hey, I've been there. And it's not a good place to be, so please reach out, because we don't want you going nowhere.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks, Jeremy. I appreciate it. Yeah, it's hard to be vulnerable, and honestly, that's really why I took a break away from podcasting too, because I didn't feel vulnerable anymore. And there was a point the last 4 days where I kind of became vulnerable again, and you just know when you're vulnerable, you're kind of vibing in life. You don't really care about what people think about when you tell your story, and that's when you really know that you're in that place you need to be, I guess you could say.
Right.
Because being vulnerable requires you to feel like you're safe as well.
Sure. And trust your body and trust your gut. If you don't feel right about something, guys, listen to your body. I used to do this group called Emotional Management, and we would play a song. You would talk about it and talk about how you felt about it, not using easy words like I feel good, I feel fine, I feel okay. Descriptive words, I feel exhilarant, I feel wonderful, fantabulous, fan-fucking-tabulous. No, but and it kind of when you listen to the song, kind of where do you feel it in your body and what emotion you feel and stuff, and it's really neat. It kind of identifies those feelings and compared in relation to your body, and
Right.
teaches you how to listen to your body in a way.
Yeah, the worst critic. Look in the mirror. Yeah, I have bipolar, so that's the worst part of having bipolar is the worst critic is in your head, and that's why people struggle between. Why they call it bipolar. You kind of struggle between this fence you jump across between being moody. And it's that voice in your head sometimes getting a little louder some days, and some days it's pretty quiet, but it can really affect your mood when your critic inside of you doesn't shut up.
Absolutely. Hi, Russell. Welcome. I haven't seen that name.
That's one thing that I've really learned in the last 4 years, to understand that we truly do have an ego, and that it's kind of this protective force that our brain evolved to have, that it's not really part of our conscious mind. And you have to learn that, to get in touch with it, you need to learn how to shut it up sometimes when it becomes overwhelming.
Mm-hmm.
Either do that through psychedelics or meditation. Those are two ways to do it nowadays. There are cannabis kind of does it if you do a lot of cannabis, but it's not as profound effect as a psychedelic. But that, obviously, a lot of people know that's my story. I found my relief through psychedelic mushrooms. I do not take them at all very often anymore. I've kind of learned to navigate life now without them, and I'm really proud of that fact too. Not that I don't think there's anything wrong with them, but I think there's a point where everybody can heal with mushrooms, but move to a point where they don't need them that often anymore, because the mushrooms kind of show your brain the path of how to heal. They kind of rewrite the brain and then give you instructions of how, to go through, navigate life happy and find meaning and stuff as well, But I do plan to have in my life still, maybe just every 3 or 4 months, maybe 3 or 4 times a year. Appreciate you sharing your story too, everybody. Jeremy, appreciate that.
Absolutely. Yeah, sometimes you need a little hiatus, to get away and get to be one with yourself, so to speak. Sometimes we get a little off the path or off our own path, or away from our primary purpose, and sometimes we just have to regather our thoughts, spend a little time with ourselves, and regather our efforts.
Mushrooms and DMT. Pretty.
Right on, Russell.
Is that the same? Yeah, it's Russell. I know. How you doing, Russell? I thought you told me once that you had a really profound effect with mushrooms, Russell. So good to see you in here, brother. Haven't seen you in a while.
Right on. That's awesome, Alex. Or Alec. I commend you. That's 2 years worth of miracles. I just celebrated 10 years myself, and it's one day at a time, miracle after miracle.
Not much, brother. Hope all is well with you, man. Just living life, doing some podcasting, and just trying to find happiness, man. As we all do.
Catherine Grace Wagster, your Facebook user. Your name's not showing up. If you want in the giveaway thing, you'll have to go to that link at the bottom that I just put in there.
That link right
click on it.
That link.
Just click on it, and then it'll have a button to say give permission. Just click on it. It'll bring you right back. Otherwise, it won't take your hashtag for the giveaway if you're interested in that. Otherwise, it's okay. You can. You don't have to.
That's Tracy. Just really do have a profound effect on your brain. They really kind of shake up your what you think your reality is, and kind of open you up to the real world in a way. I guess they kind of shake your brain awake in a way. So if you want more information about it, you're welcome to message me, and I can shoot you some videos to watch about this neuroscience about it, or anybody in general, whoever wants information. I have a catalog of videos on YouTube that you can watch that are very helpful. What's going on, Ashley? How you doing?
It is an emotional roller coaster, Elisa. That's a great. I love that analogy. I always have, because you get them exciting parts where you're flying down that hill on a round thing. You're like and then you get to a part where you click, click, click. You're going up the hill, and you're like, okay, you take a breath, regather yourself, and there it comes again, so it can be exhilarating, that's for sure, and sometimes exhausting. But that's why I say, guys, if we take care of it along the way, we don't have to take care of it all at once, because if we have to take care of it all at once, it seems overwhelming, and then you don't want to mess with it, and then you just go deeper and deeper. And I speak from experience.
Sure.
So glad you guys are here today. I love you all.
By the way, I wanted to take a moment and say on my website, I actually have some blueberry muffin cannabis infused honey. If anybody wants some, go to the Great River Mushrooms.
No, we don't.
Quality. I only got three bottles, but this stuff is pretty amazing looking. I actually took the blueberry muffin by Humboldt, infused it in some honey, and they're 4-ounce jars, and it's delicious. So if anybody wants that, go check it out at Great River Mushrooms. Ship it out next day, tomorrow, if you actually buy it. So do my shipping out tomorrow. But yeah, it's some really good honey. I actually use some it's a Sam's Club brand honey that they actually accumulate the Midwest honeys.
Oh, cool.
Most of the stuff I ship out is to the Midwest. So they take a lot of the darker raw honeys, they buy it from a few varieties and kind of combine it into one. It's a very strong, profound, bold taste to it.
Nice.
But everybody's had it thought it was fire. Devo said it was some of the best honey he's had. But yeah, I don't ever have too much blueberry muffin. Well, I do have some here, but most of the time I smoke it all. So good. Such a good strain.
Yeah, I can't wait to get some of that. One of these days I'll get a clone of that.
It's stuff that when you grow it, you don't even want to sell it because it smells so delicious.
Yeah, that sounds like a personal strain for me. I was kidding around, guys, whenever I was going like that. I was joking last night. I was like, nope, he's out of honey. I'm buying it all. No. But I do want to try it one of these days. Yeah, it's I had the Ophelia honey, and I put it in my coffee. And then if I had couldn't sleep, I'd take a half a teaspoon, not a tablespoon, half a teaspoon, and I just take a little bite of it. be asleep in a half hour.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. That's what you do with it, yeah, Cannon.
I also wanted to take a moment now that since we do every week, we do our, well, not every week, but every Mental Health Monday, we kind of talk about some mental health news. And wanted to talk about somebody who passed away today. So let me play this intro here. Oh, I just played the video. But somebody passed away today. Somebody who was very into mental health. Am I pronouncing it right? Rosalind Carter. Is that how you pronounce her first name?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Jimmy Carter. She passed away today, and I kind of wanted to take a moment to talk about that and play this video because she had a very profound effect long before I was alive, and mental health, and how insurance companies pay for mental health treatment now. She basically made those into laws, or helped do that. So I'm gonna take a minute to talk about her and play this little video that I had.
Yeah, I thought this was interesting. I never knew anything about it. I've heard of her, but being in mental health for 8 years, I didn't know this.
So yeah, let's learn a little bit about her life and how she affected mental health. So.
Her life, the American dream come true.
Well, Jim and I have had great opportunities.
Her heart full of gratitude all her life.
The American people have given us unlimited chances, unlimited opportunities, and make it possible for us to do things that we never would ever have been able to do.
And what Rosalind Carter did with her life and with her life partner and husband was change lives.
So help me God. So help me God.
49 years old when she entered the national stage in 1976, when Jimmy Carter was elected president, Rosalind Carter knew going in that as First Lady, she would be not only the soft-spoken supporter of her husband.
There's no way that we would be here tonight with Jimmy president without your help. We love and care for every single one of you.
Rosalind Carter would also redefine the role of First Lady, advancing her relentless drive to pursue an independent agenda, her causes.
Es un gran placer para mí estar aquí.
Jimmy would declare that Rosalind was the only politician in the family, and he meant it. Her unmatched ferocity to win, cloaked in her gracious Southern charms, earning her the nickname, the Steel Magnolia.
For too long, these people have not received the care they need.
And she went to war for her signature cause, begun years earlier as Georgia's First Lady.
We do have some specific recommendations.
The fight to revolutionize mental health care and healing.
Realize that it's just an illness like any other illness.
Rosalind Carter's American dream began on August 18, 1927. Born Eleanor Rosalind Smith in Plains, 130 miles south of Atlanta. When Rosalind was 13, her father died, and she had to take charge of the family so her mother could get a job outside the home. Rosalind managed all of that and still graduated from high school and college. And a month before her 19th birthday, she and Jimmy married. They had 3 sons, and 15 years after number 3, they had a daughter. And all those years and beyond, Rosalind was a full partner with Jimmy in business and in local and state and then national politics. And after the White House, she and Jimmy co-founded the Carter Center in Atlanta, focusing on helping the weakest, the poorest, the sickest.
We know that mental illness is a disease as any other.
And helping achieve a monumental shift in health insurance. So now it covers mental illnesses just as it does physical illnesses.
And almost everyone suffering from mental illness can be helped.
This is a woman who began a joyous love affair with fly fishing relatively late in life, who enjoyed a glass of wine and laughter with her friends and expanding family, a night owl to Jimmy the early bird, working full-time into her 90s, the girl from Plains who grew up making opportunities for others around the world.
My dream for the future would be peace in the world and freedom from sickness. The best thing we could do is work toward that goal.
Rosalind Carter, the American dream come true.
Lion's mane mushroom.
I lost your audio, Dan.
Turn that off. That's a pretty cool story that a lot of people didn't know about. I didn't know fully about it. I knew that she was very much into
Philanthropy.
Habitat for Humanity. Her and her husband
Yeah.
definitely had a profound impact in Habitat for Humanity. In fact, every year until a couple of years ago when Jimmy's health started to decline, they'd go to a Habitat build and help for a day. And they were
he's
really
still alive, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought so.
Yeah.
But he's not very well either.
No, and speaking of love, like we did today, they're actually the longest living married couple, first lady president. I think 75 years. Am I?
Oh wow,
correct. That's how long they were married. So they're the longest living couple to be, president and first lady.
And speaking of love that long, and when a loved one at that age, a lot of times you'll see that when a loved one goes, the other one's not far behind. And that's just I guess they just can't live without each other. It's just that heartbreak so bad.
Jimmy's at an age he'd probably pass away this year or next year.
Yeah, I would say so.
He's pretty old. Been around for a long time and
very good people.
They've had an interesting life. They'll definitely make movies about them, that couple.
Oh yeah,
they pass away.
Cheers, everybody.
Yeah, but that figured we would share that little snippet. No, she passed away actually yesterday, if I remember right. But the news kind of shared it all today.
She definitely paved the road for a lot of help that we get for our insurance and stuff. That's really amazing.
Yeah, at one point, then property insurance, didn't cover it. They're like, they didn't think it should have been, but now times have changed and 50 years have passed by, and we have forgotten about that fact that she did that.
And mental health is so the stigma is still there. Don't get me wrong, but it's being quashed a little bit by little as we go through. And people advocating and letting people know it's okay to have mental health. It's something we just like any physical ailment or any kind of illness or disorder or whatever. We just have to work on it, and take our medicine, whatever that may be.
Right.
For me, I like natural stuff.
I was just going through this other video. Maybe play this one.
Right on.
This one talks about dopamine and oxytocin, the true love chemicals. And I really think that also, we were talking about psychedelics, that when you do a psychedelic, I know there's no research to prove this yet because they don't really know what kind of chemicals are released, but I do think that oxytocin is dumped into the brain when you're on a psychedelic, because at one point you do feel such a profound love for yourself that you actually start crying. It's a feeling you can't even describe until you actually experience it, and you have this. I think that's what it is. I think that it's an oxytocin dump. Your brain just dumps it into your body, just dumps it into your brain, and you feel this profound love for everything around you, including for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we don't have enough studies or anything to prove it. They really haven't found what the actual chemicals released when you're on a psychedelic.
And they mention it in that book you got, which is also how you change your mind. He talks about that whenever you take ecstasy, that your levels of oxytocin are increased or something like that, and it's really your feeling of love and one with each other and stuff is really, really profound.
Yeah, that's the love hormone. If you guys don't know the oxydopamine here, and
yeah.
Because when I started doing psychedelics, I started looking more into these because I was so interested in what was going on in the neuroscience of my brain. I was like, why do I feel this profound love all of a sudden, or like, why am I crying? Because you scour the internet, but there's no information of what is actually happening, the neuroscience. So you kind of have to experiment yourself and just go off of what you feel.
Neurotransmitters.
So this is a little short 4-minute video about the chemicals of love. and a little more explanation of what they are and what they actually do and to our bodies and our behavior. So.
Do you feel low, unmotivated, or unenergized? Or maybe you are just feeling stressed, lonely, and disconnected from your relationships and even yourself. If you are feeling any of these emotions, the two main culprits are dopamine and oxytocin. All of your feelings and emotions are a result of chemical reactions taking place in your body. The feeling of satisfaction that you achieve after working hard to reach your goals is partly due to a rush of dopamine. In fact, some studies indicate that having more dopamine leads to increased ambition. For example, in one study, rats with more dopamine climbed a fence to a larger pile of food, while rats with a lower amount of dopamine opted for smaller piles of food. This chemical is one of the central power drivers for all the work of your brain. Without dopamine, you would be quite unhuman, since it is the key force behind most of your actions and interpersonal relationships. Sometimes called the molecule of happiness, dopamine tends to be the scientific explanation for why we can be happy or experience pleasure. During pleasurable situations, this neurotransmitter is released, which causes a person to seek out a desirable activity over and over again, such as eating ice cream or, more practically, having sex. Dopamine also helps regulate our senses of feeling awake and alert. A study of well-rested and sleep-deprived individuals showed that the sleep-deprived people have less dopamine binding to the dopamine receptors in their brain. Dopamine also plays a role in controlling movement. A lack of dopamine in the brain leads to uncoordinated movements throughout the body. And the list doesn't stop there. Dopamine helps to improve your working memory. Since dopamine affects your memory, it also affects your learning processes and how you retain information. When dopamine is present during an event or experience, we will remember it. And if it's absent, we usually won't remember a thing at all. Because dopamine is tied to your reward center, if you don't feel interested in specific activities or learning certain subjects, then dopamine levels will decrease and your brain won't feel motivated and you won't be able to remember the facts that were presented to you.
That's interesting.
Now, if hormones could win popularity contests, oxytocin might well be the queen of the day. It's sometimes known as the cuddle hormone or the love hormone because it is released when people snuggle or bond socially. Sexual activity also causes the release of oxytocin. Particularly, arousal and orgasm are associated with the hormone. Oxytocin is an especially important hormone for women. The hormone causes uterine contractions during labor and helps shrink the uterus after delivery. When an infant is breastfeeding, the stimulation causes a release of oxytocin, which in turn orders the body to release milk for the baby to drink. Oxytocin also promotes mother-child bonding. Studies show that female rats find pups to be aversive when the females are virgins. The hormone is also present in men, playing a role in sperm movement and the production of testosterone. Yet another positive effect of oxytocin is anxiety relief. In both men and women, increased levels of oxytocin are linked to feelings of reduced stress and anxiety. There are, of course, many other chemicals that impact our behaviors, but dopamine and oxytocin stand out as some of the most influential factors in humans' day-to-day lives.
That's awesome. I hope we understand a little more about how we could really fall in love, because that was a really interesting video. There were some things in there I did not even know.
Yeah.
That was an interesting video about I did not know about the oxytocin having that profound of an influence on women. So that was definitely interesting.
And what did it say about the dopamine dropping? Is that from the oxytocin? Is that overrides it? Is that what it was saying? I missed that part.
No, they're kind of two different things, but dopamine could drop and then change your behavior.
Oh, yeah. That I know.
So, oxytocin's more of the one you feel when you fall in love, and but I didn't know it has that profound of effect on a woman, and it just shows how complex our bodies are, especially a woman's body who has to give birth to another, another human.
Mm-hmm.
Her chemicals and hormones kind of circulate more than the man's. I did not know that I went to the uterus. That was interesting. That oxytocin goes down to the uterus. But as far as we know, it could go all over our bodies. We have nerve endings and neurons all over. So,
Hi, Bonnie. How are you doing tonight, hon?
That's the most fascinating thing about humans. Our bodies are so complex. We still don't know so much about it, especially how some of these hormones move through our body and whatnot. Well, thanks, Creative. Appreciate it. How you doing tonight? Doing well. Good to hear.
Awesome.
Yeah, that was a great video. It made me think a little harder because I didn't. There were a couple facts that I didn't know because I hadn't watched that video. I kind of watched the first 2 minutes of it earlier, and I was like, "Oh, that's a lot of information."
Right.
And then it kept feeding me more information.
I love YouTube. They got all kinds of good shit. Very informational. Be careful because you find some other stuff that ain't true out there.
Yeah, that's why I like to stick to the TED Talks or channels that have just nothing but education because they're usually pretty factual.
Right. Gearing up for the holidays. Yeah, that's kind of what I was talking about.
We all ready to feel a little love?
On your second.
But it also is a time that people experience a lot of loneliness. So hopefully nobody out there is experiencing that this year.
What kind did you get, Creative?
Oh, she got the blue oyster, I think.
Blue oysters, cool.
Second flush, huh? Still flushing.
Nice. I'll have to try some of them gourmet mushrooms one of these days. It's never really had them around here much. But I know of. They might, and I just haven't looked. I don't really look for mushrooms because Patty don't like them.
How many people in there? 13. I get some more people in there. Thanksgiving, that's the greatest thing. Some yummy food on Thursday.
Yes.
No sleep all day. Huh.
Well, that's
Gotcha. Hopefully there's
going to be a little change.
She got the blue oysters.
Right. Oh, awesome. Thanks, Bonnie.
Awesome. Appreciate everybody joining tonight. Definitely appreciate it.
Much love, guys. Much love for sure.
Much love as we're talking about.
Yep.
Love is an interesting subject to talk about because it's something that we all share in common. Even though Jenny from Forrest Gump didn't think that Forrest Gump knew what love was, but
right.
I know what love is, Jenny.
I think she was the one that was a little confused. Yeah, I hear you, Bunny. My dog, oh man, she wasn't really a beggar when my dad had her, but when she come here, the other dog we had at the time, he was a beggar, so she picked up bad habits from him. He passed away. She still has the habits. Oh, I hear you. I'm a sucker for a good love story, Bunny.
That's why I don't know. That's why I don't mind hearing about the Travis Kelce and why can't I remember her name right now? Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce story that people are tired of hearing about. Because he actually is he's a gentleman to her, so it's kind of cool to see a gentleman, an old school gentleman, even though she's a superstar, still trying to land her. But
right,
you could definitely tell they like each other.
Oh, my Heidi, she gets table scraps all the time. We don't give them to her at the table. Well, we eat in the living room, but we don't give them to them right there when we're eating. We'll put it in her bowl. Still don't help. She still begs, but I'll tell her to go lay down. She usually does. Nellie and Ashanti, I haven't heard that story. I have to look that up.
Didn't Ashante pass away a long time ago?
I don't know.
I thought
I know Nellie's from St. Louis.
Yeah. I'm not familiar with that story either.
Grew up down there. Not in St. Louis, but across the river in Belleville.
But it's kind of hard to hide the biggest superstar right now in music, and then one of the best tight ends to maybe play football. They're both superstars in their own making. Now they're both dating each other.
Right.
So that's interesting.
Hey, Brad, what's up, buddy? Didn't see you sneak in.
Yeah, we're getting some more people here in the giveaway. This is for that bottle of Lion's Mane. Got a whole month's worth of some Lion's Mane capsules all ready to take.
I got mine right here, guys. Take it every morning.
And again, I sell these on my website, thegreatrivermushrooms.com, for $13. It's one of my number one selling products. I sell a lot of it because it works. A lot of people buy it and they see it works and they come back and buy more. And it's one of those things that really benefit you in many different areas, and you should take the rest of your life. And it's worth it. $13 a month can really benefit your brain, can prevent Alzheimer's, can really prevent dementia symptoms, and give you a healthy brain. Because one of the main things it does is our brains create plaque as we age. This plaque builds up, and it's what causes Alzheimer's and dementia. So the Lion's Mane actually prevents that plaque from building up on our brain, and in turn that plaque creates Alzheimer's. So there's not a lot of studies that prove that it does prevent Alzheimer's and dementia, but they do know that it prevents the buildup of the plaque that causes those symptoms, or causes those neurological diseases. So it's definitely a brain food that should be given, that people should add to their diet, whether they eat the actual mushroom or they actually do it in a supplement.
I hear didn't you say the mushroom has like a lot of people use it to substitute seafood?
So yeah, the capsule of course doesn't have a taste, but if you actually eat the real mushroom, it actually tastes like crab meat, and it has a very neurotropic effect. So if you eat it, you can feel it in your brain. It kind of gives you this high, euphoric high. And I know this because I ate it at a party once, and I shared it with about 6 people. And we all ate a pretty good amount of Lion's Mane, and we all said the same thing. We're like, I feel this kind of weird high. And when you eat the actual mushroom, you're eating a lot more of it in milligrams. Because if you eat like a mushroom of it, you're probably eating more like 2,000 to 2,500 milligrams. If you're eating a larger Lion's Mane, so eating that much, you can have a effect that you can actually feel really profoundly.
It's delicious.
And it's one of the medicines I found that I stumbled upon to help treat bipolar. It really does help. And my CBD, CBG, which I also sell on my website, I take that as well. And it's really had a really awesome effect on my mental health. So the stuff really does work when you take them in unison. Like the Lion's Mane, CBD, CBG, and I have a few people who actually take all 3. Well, it's two pills, but it's 3 different medicines. And it has a really profound effect on their mental health. So much so that they've been able to quit taking prescriptions. And again, if you ever do buy Lion's Mane, hit me up and ask me for a sample of the CBD, CBG. I do send out samples. I love giving samples first to show people that it does work, and that it does have an effect on their day-to-day activities and their behaviors and their mental health.
Absolutely. Hi, Cam.
It is delicious. I actually just grew some of it the other day. I didn't even know I had a Lion's Mane block in my fruiting tent. I went in there and I was like, oh, look, it's Lion's Mane.
Hey, there you go.
I picked it and But I've been having issues with eating mushrooms lately, so I kind of stayed away from them. Even though I grow them and stuff, my gut is not in a place where it can eat them yet. So I have ulcers, and I think the mushrooms really affect the ulcers. I'm not sure why, but I think it's the skin of the mushroom, is very hard for the body to digest. So some people do have trouble digesting mushrooms.
Yeah, again, your body will tell you.
Yeah, it sucks because I want to eat them more. I grow them for other people, but a lot of times I can't eat them so much. What's going on, Kim? How you doing tonight?
I take 150 milligrams. The bottle says 2, which is 1,000.
Yeah, 1,000 milligrams.
I take 1,500.
Yeah, it's one of the things you can take. You can kind of find your own where you where you feel a good amount. I take 1,500 milligrams in the morning. You can take up to 5,000 milligrams, and you're not gonna OD on it or anything. Some people, maybe larger people who may weigh like 250 pounds, may need that much. But really, it's about finding, where your weight is, how much you need, and you'll know when you feel it. I always have fast metabolism, so I always have to eat more of something to have an effect. So it's been that way my whole life.
I've been taking them about 5 months, I guess. And 1 month I had forgot to order it on time, and I was out for, I don't know, maybe a week at tops. But I could tell, just because I had been out them few days, I could tell the difference. That, I was starting to feel a little bit more lethargic when I woke up in the morning. My focus wasn't quite there. Yeah, it definitely helped. And that's how I knew right then that it was helping as much as it did. I mean, I knew it was already helping. I could feel it. But sometimes, with medication of any sort, you just start feeling better, and a lot of people, when they're on psych meds or something like that, they'll stop taking them because they feel better. Well, the meds were helping you, so don't stop taking them without the care of a doctor. Some of that stuff them psychotropes, you got to wean off of anyway. I had to whenever I stopped taking them and started taking lion's mane.
Yeah. This is a great question. Dosage is kind of different on a lot of different meds. CBD, CBG is kind of I sell my capsules in 16 milligrams. That's good enough for some people, but I take 2 a day. But I know a girl, she weighs about 100 pounds, and she only needs 1 a day, and it has a strong effect on her. So
nice.
Really about how much your weight, your metabolism, age, and a lot of different things that really affect how much milligrams you need of something.
Yeah, I seen that waffle bunny. I just don't have the money to get in it. That was I got in one a while back. It was just a smaller one. But yeah, they do have some fire, that's for sure. I've won some stuff from them. Brooklyn Boys, Canada.
Yes, Helena, that is magic mushrooms will definitely do that. I do not know. I'm sure there's a proper technique to use to do regress memory with magic mushrooms, and we'll eventually figure out that therapy. But I 100% know that it's possible to access parts of your brain that are not available anymore, because I've done it myself and I felt it. Because I had to go back to my childhood and go back to regress memories, and they definitely bring them back. And they sometimes very strongly, and that's why mushrooms can be a scary experience for people when they have to go through those regress memories. So if you do ever do it, you have to be prepared for the fact that it will force you to confront those. You can't hide from them once you're on a psychedelic, really. Right. There are methods, but it's a lot harder. And that's when people have bad trips, is when stuff like that happens, or they're doing it in the wrong place, and all of a sudden regress memory comes through and they're at a party. Of course, they're going to have a bad experience at that point, and feel like it's a bad trip. But it's just stuff like that happening.
Hi, Charles. Welcome. And hi, Helene, too, by the way. Hi, Sandra. You guys snuck in on us.
2019. It was the same year I kind of quit pharmaceuticals. Well, it was 2020. It was when a legalization of cannabis happened, and I had access to more specific strains of cannabis to treat mental illness. So thanks to legalization in Illinois, that got me off of pharmaceuticals.
I just started hunting strains the beginning of this year. Before I was just growing what was around here that I could get clone wise, but now that it's legal for us to grow, I'm actually looking for stuff that it's beneficial for me and my wife that I can grow.
Right.
Not that the other stuff wasn't beneficial, but now I can search for, that's good for one thing, but now I'm looking for other stuff for mental health. Which I think I found one. I'm going to try another one.
So these are all different ways to open back up your heart too. Whether you're doing psychedelics, lion's mane, CBD, CBG, they're all ways to overcome mental health and make you feel love again. A topic we're talking about tonight. Especially psychedelics, they have such a profound effect on oxytocin that they really open your heart back up. Especially people who had a lot of heartbreak and are very stubborn to love again. Psychedelics can have a profound effect in letting them let go of that and having the ability to truly love again.
It's all you need is love.
That's the truth. And I used to not know that until I did mushrooms, and I felt that love, and I was like, it makes you really think deeper about what love is and how universal it is, how it's across other mammals and species, and that the universe intended to be loved, that it probably exists on other planets of other species across the universe, profound chemical reaction we have in our brain that allows us to feel this profound, amazing feeling. If you're ever scared, you can do some more research, and once it's more legal, like they have Colorado places that specialize in stuff like that, and you can really do a retreat where you can be with a therapist or somebody who really knows what they're doing if you ever want to have a safe experience. And that's why I'm excited about the future of psychedelics, because people will be able to have safer experience with people who are very experienced in these psychedelics and the methods of how they affect the brain. And I know we'll learn more techniques too of how to do these experiences, like how to affect different parts of the brain using the psychedelics. But yeah, it's perfectly normal to be scared. It's something you can't really tell you're not going to be scared because it's going to happen. So you just have to be ready to confront that fear. Access the subconscious. Yeah, for sure.
Love is all you need. That song stuck in my head.
Yeah, it's hard to see past regressed memories, but the psychedelics really help connect those old neurons that you've disconnected over the years. They rewire them back together, and then you're able to actually go back to those memories that have kind of faded. Because as you get older, those neurons start to degrade. They're not as strong as they once were. So even if you attempt to try to, think about those thoughts again, your brain just doesn't have the ability. But magic mushrooms bring those connections back. They bring back the connections that may have been lost over the years. So that's how they are helpful. And in fact, I actually did a psychedelic experience once where I actually took a tour of my childhood home. And I really felt like I was in the house. I was able to walk around the house and feel the house that I lived in as a child. And it was a very profound experience. And that was when I realized that I could really do this to any part of my brain, of any kind of my memory, that I could go to any place that I had experienced and be there, have the feelings, the smells, and what it felt like. And it's really amazing to do that when that kind of therapy where you actually go back to a place in time and just walk around whatever your memory has of it.
You're going to
This
do
does-
great, Shannon.
does have a memory of it. Your brain has the memory of everything. If you walk through a house, it has the memory of, you know, what everything. You just may not have paid attention to it.
Hi, Gabrielle.
But our brains are truly amazing. Just the fact that we can feel love and the fact that we can hold all these memories in it. It's just profound to think of that. By the time you die, I mean, if you died 80, you have 80 years of memories, you know, stored somewhere in your brain.
Mm-hmm.
How many computers would that take? You know, it would take it'd be a massive amount. It's just amazing to think of that, the amount of storage that our brain has, the capacity that it has, and the ability it has to feel love.
And you know, and it's funny because we think we forget things so much, and then at the right time when we need it, bam, it popped. That past experience pops up, and you're able to do whatever it is. Ride a bike, you know, for instance.
Homeschool tomorrow with the sun. That'll be a good experience, I think, for you. It's being a little nervous is how we grow as people. I always say the other side of being nervous and fear is growth, when we realize that there was nothing to be scared of in the first place.
Mm-hmm. False evidence appearing real. See, Kim, even Kim says you're going to do fine, Shannon. And that's legit.
There she's right there. I'm slowly getting through the comments.
Heard it from the legit bean. Speaking of which, go check out the legit bean, guys.
You're living in your childhood home. That's interesting. See, I don't know how I'd feel about that. Even if it was a good childhood, I don't know. I guess I can't say that because I had a good childhood in my home, but I wouldn't want to live there. But that's pretty awesome. I hope you had good memories in it and you still make good memories in it. So.
Yeah, if you, Kim, I hope this is okay. Shannon, if you ever need any tips, I'm sure you could reach out to Kim. She's a smart lady. She's a teacher, and she might be able to help you out. So there you go, Kim. There you out there. She's a great person. She never minds helping anybody from what I've ever seen. So I'm sure she's okay with me saying that. If not, she will let me know. That's one thing I love about Kim, of the many things, is she's not afraid to speak her mind. And that's good. That is holding boundaries and loving yourself.
Right.
All kinds of ways we can love ourselves. You know, and speaking of which, is setting boundaries. You know, we'd had a show on that once. And keep them boundaries, guys, because if you let them boundaries push back a little bit, and a little bit, they're going to keep pushing, and then they're not going to take your boundaries seriously. So love yourself and hold them boundaries.
Right. That's good to hear, Shannon. That's good to hear.
That's awesome.
Good memories.
Memory. Oh, sorry.
I thought maybe the giveaway thing froze, but now it's going back up. It's just being silly. 20 people in the lines, man.
Right on, guys. Appreciate everybody coming out tonight.
And I'm going to start shipping some of these out now with orders. And we got some of these 998 suicide business cards that Grassroots gave me, which I need to figure out where he got them.
Yeah, me too. I meant to ask him the other day and I forgot to.
The little cards to do with some mental health. As you know, and some people know, if you make an order from my website, I ship out a mental health sticker, a mushroom sticker, and a couple other slaps for you. every single time you order. So
Yeah, I got me.
I thought it was interesting. The farmers market, I do hand out free stickers, mental health and mushroom stickers, and I found kids taking the mental health stickers over the mushroom stickers.
That's cool.
I give them to kids and stuff, and I always tell the parents, they always want to give me money. I'm like, oh, there's stickers. It's not a big deal. Like,
Yeah.
pay pennies for them. So, but yeah, I thought that was interesting that a lot of the kids were choosing the mushroom. And I wondered if they knew what they meant, but maybe it's a good time to have, give them the sticker, and then maybe their parents can have a conversation about what the sticker actually means. So. But that's what it's about. The sticker, maybe starting a conversation about mental health.
Jim, I'm horrible at karaoke. I burst out in a song all the time, but I can't sing. Once in a while, when I was younger, we'd play karaoke or go to karaoke, but it was horrible. I'd get up there and murder it for a little bit, then I'd jump off stage. A couple songs I would sing all the way through, but not very many.
We can see you, Evans. What's going on? How you doing tonight?
Hey, Evans.
You are right for sure.
That is
That's why it's good to just talk to kids about it, even if you don't. I mean, obviously don't ask them stranger questions, but it's good to bring awareness, even if you're a teacher at a school, to have kids talk about their mental health and know that it's fine to talk about.
Sure.
Have discussions with their parents about.
Good, Evans. Glad to hear it, bud.
I know there are some public school systems out there that are enacting great mental health courses, but it's still few and far between. There's definitely a lot more that's needed, but it's happening now. So there's a shift, but sometimes shifts take decades to do, unfortunately, in our country. And it usually takes children committing suicide, unfortunately, to make shifts in our society. And it's happening right now. I mean, you can't hide from that fact, that adolescents they're taking their lives. I'm sure, Kim, you see that firsthand too. You deal with a lot of adolescents. I don't know what age group you deal up to with, but a teenager's considered a teenager till 24. Am I right, Rasta?
They're mentally, their brain is, they don't really fully develop and stop, developing until about 24 or 5. So yeah, technically.
Yeah, if you look at the actual data of what happened when the Facebook app was created in 2008, and the adolescent suicide rate started going up year after year after that. And it's more or less when more social media apps came out, more suicides started to happen. So now we have multiple different apps that do different things for social media wise. And I think that has a profound effect on the suicide rate. You can clearly see it in 2008, Facebook app comes out. 2009, the suicide rate among adolescents jumps 25%. Just from 1 year. It's pretty high rate from 1 year to the next. I don't know if it's 25, but that just showed that Facebook app had a profound effect on suicide rates. And I don't know what else it would have been, that would cause it to go up other than that.
Yeah, and that number 988, guys, that's a crisis suicide hotline. It's for text or you can call.
4 kids at the school, jeez.
Yeah, that's horrible.
We have a nonprofit that was started 4 years ago in my city. In fact, the mother of who started it has been in our comments before. Her 19-year-old son took his own life. She actually found him when he took his own life. So she started an organization in Quincy, Suicide Prevention Coalition, and I think 1 year there were 3 kids that committed suicide, and I don't think they've had but 1 suicide since then. The numbers have gone down with this coalition. They actually go into the schools and educate children They have speakers that come in and talk to the kids at the schools and public speaking kind of thing. So stuff like that does help, prevention programs. But it stinks that it has to be a nonprofit that starts it. There's not a service that's out there government wise or something else that is helpful, but it has to be really a local nonprofit that really helps in your area.
Yeah, that's actually one of the things that nonprofit started down here.
I think you went into a tunnel there for a minute.
Oh, that's can you hear me now?
Yeah,
that's what our nonprofit. I had started one in our area. It dissolved because there wasn't enough funding and stuff. But still, we helped a lot of people, and it was for addiction and suicide recovery, and it was so needed around here, and unfortunately we had to quit, but all the money we raised went to another nonprofit that was similar to it that is kind of taken over. So, or that was kind of already there, but it's good to have them things. And guys, just remember, every county or close to has a mental health facility. And you can always reach out to your local mental health facility, and they can point you in the right direction. Look for a peer support specialist or a recovery support specialist, something along them lines, because those are the people that have lived experiences, been through similar experiences as well, and they're best teachers to help you get through that. That's what I was.
I mean, what you're saying right now, and I heard somebody else say it in a video I was watching. I don't remember, but he said the exact same thing. He says kids don't have the mental development experience that adults do. And I don't remember what it was, but this guy was trying to start a nonprofit to help kids with their mental development, like you're saying here. So I do believe that you're right, because there are other people who definitely say the same thing you do. And the video, when he explained it, made a lot of sense. So that's why I definitely agree with you. Kids, they definitely lack mental development, and I'm not sure what the answer is or what the cause of it is. It's an effect of many different societal changes over the last 2 decades that caused it.
Yeah, I don't either.
It really should have been taking mental health serious in the late 90s, and we wouldn't be in the situation we are, but it just didn't happen.
Sure. And I think part of it, and Kim, tell me if there's any truth into this, and this is just a theory that's just popped in my head. In schools, we teach academics. At home, they teach, manners and this and that, but sometimes the stigma in mental health, parents or me, a teacher, they don't want to dive into that because it might be not their strong suit, or not, maybe they're afraid to approach it because they don't have that expertise, or something like that. And which is sad, because I think every, teacher, policeman, anybody that has contact with the public should learn about mental health and how to deal with it.
I shouldn't say there wasn't mental development skills. They were actually teaching these children coping skills. This guy wanted to help them cope with things that were stressful, and how to understand anxiety, stress, depression, and your own mental health. That was really, I think, what the guy wanted to help people. And when you develop those things, you kind of do develop your mental ability if you understand how your brain works more. Just the fact that educating yourself of how your body works is really powerful. Changing effect to how you treat yourself or how you encounter stress and anxiety. The kids are great learners, especially at that age. I don't think we shouldn't not teach them what mental health is and how to take care of it and how to take care of themselves and their brain.
Hi, Kimberly.
Fortunately, I don't remember any of those classes in my school. We had health class, that was it, but they didn't really talk about the brain or stress or anything like that. It was like about how muscles worked and stuff. We always do, yeah. They're magically moving without me.
That's awesome, Shannon.
What's going on, Kimberly? I think we can get up here 25 and then we'll give this away. I'm going to give it 5 more minutes and then we'll give this lion mane away.
Sounds good.
And I also sell infused coconut oil. This is a Romulan strain. We got some honey. So greatrivermushrooms.com. You can check it out. I also sell mushroom soup and a bunch of other stuff. So it's a lot more than just mushrooms.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna ship you out one of these. Everybody got their own. I guess I didn't show this.
Yeah, the brochure.
We got our own video podcast brochure for the Rumination Project podcast. It actually shows about Misfit Island, and all you gotta do is scan this little SKU. Here's my nice little bruise I did the other day when
I was looking at that.
Finger. And you got a little SKU there you can take and with your camera and go right to the Facebook page for Misfit Island. So this talks about basically my podcast, the Rumination Podcast, and then it describes basically all 3 of our shows. Mental Health Monday, Psychonaut Files, and Coffee Time with Dan, which I have not done an episode on that, but you can join me Sunday mornings for that show, Coffee Time with Dan. And that's going to be more of kind of a spiritual, mystical kind of shamanistic approach to, I guess I can tell you what it says in here, as we explore different approaches to love, personal freedom, living in peace and harmony, and nurturing our true selves, based more on spirituality and like shamanistic approaches to spirituality. So
awesome.
Not quite religious, but more spiritual, and people who kind of like that kind of stuff. So that's what the show will be, more and about So the first episode is going to be about vibrations. For example, it's going to be a show about sending out the proper vibrations into the universe, and I'm kind of going to explain how that is. And that's another reason I quit doing podcasting, because I didn't feel like I was vibrating correctly, and I truly feel it now. I know when I'm not, and I know when I am. And we are really, if you look down to our basic levels of atoms are all vibrating. We are literally, everything around us is vibrating. Everything is made of vibrations. So it would make sense that we have the ability to send out vibrations that can attract other things back to us in return. And I was going to explain that in that episode about how we do that and how you can do that in more effective ways. So that's what the first episode of Coffee Time with Dan will be about, and we'll go from there. So hopefully you guys can join on that new show as well.
Awesome.
So yeah, I talk a lot about science, but I do believe in spirituality, and I believe in things that maybe we cannot explain yet, because even Albert Einstein talked a lot about energy and vibration, and I believe that he's one of the smartest men to exist. So if he was studying and he believed in things like that, I do believe that it has a more profound effect than we understand. Everything is vibrating. And I remember that the first time they ever looked at an atom on a microscope, they thought that they would see something solid, and they said it was just a squiggly line. It was literally vibrating, and everything's vibrating at an atomic level. So it's interesting.
The molecules bouncing around in there. Yeah, guys. And on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays, I'll be having a recovery show called Today's Journey at 9:00 in the morning Central Standard Time. Come check it out.
Heck yeah, we got a lot of new stuff coming to Misfit Island, so you guys have to come check it out. Invite your friends. December is going to be a packed full event I guess now until the end of the year will be a lot of stuff going on in Misfit Island. So definitely join in, check in. Got a lot of different, a lot of awesome content creators over here. So if you like the variety, come check us out.
Absolutely.
And if you ever do buy something from me and you want extra brochures, just ask me. I'll send you extra ones if you want to give them out to friends. I have any of the brochures. I have a brochure for my medicine part, and then my brochure for my Great River mushroom. So, kind of have 3 different brochures. What's that? Am I reading that one? Credit what? Credit with kite.
That's a person.
There's that ladies' night Friday night. There we go. I didn't know if you guys had a set night yet. So,
Oh, hell yeah.
got
Dank
ladies' night.
Strats. What's going on, Dank?
We got ladies' night too on Friday nights on Misfit On, so you have to check that out. I don't know what time they're doing it yet, but sure they'll announce that when they know.
Somewhere between noon and midnight. I know that. What time you guys having it, Shannon? Or do you know yet?
Oh, okay, that's what she's talking.
Yeah, I had seen the name before. 8:30 to 9 start time, somewhere around there.
There you go. There you go.
Hell yeah.
Anytime we get the little man to bed, there you go.
Right.
You gotta be a little flexible.
Absolutely.
Hey, what's going on, Dank? How you doing? Just getting lifted. For a minute, I thought you said you meant just went and lifted, and I was like, "Oh, that's cool. I like lifting weights too, but I haven't done it in a while." Got lifted.
Hey guys, if you want custom-made hemostats, get a hold of Dank Stats. She's got all kinds of different little things that she puts on and makes these things. Does an awesome job. I plan on getting some sooner or later. Just ain't been able to, but yeah, guys, go check her out. She's I've seen a lot of her stuff out there. Awesome hemos. I love my hemos. I can't live without them. I got straight ones. I got my small curved ones. I got giant fucking ones that are like forceps damn near. You know, they're huge for passing them around in a room. I'm old school. I like my hemos. When I seen that she made stats, I was like, I got to get me some of those. I'll get there, though.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah, boy.
Let's get this Lions man away here. Anybody else want to get in here?
Absolutely.
Give you a minute, but we'll give this thing away. I think everybody's in that's going to get in.
Right on. And don't forget, Creative Collectibles does all kinds of arts and crafts too, guys. Go check out the people in the community. There's all different kinds of stuff out there, man.
Right, for sure. All right, let's hit this thing away, and good luck, everybody.
Good luck, everybody.
Let's draw a winner. We got a new winner. I've never seen that one.
Good job, Karen. That is right there.
Oh, I interrupted you, man. I always was the crowd interrupted me, dog.
Right. I always brag on Karen because she's the best damn admin in the world. Granted, I don't have nothing for her really to do, but she's my only admin. And well, Dan's on there too, but that's just so he can post stuff if he needs to for advertising.
I just meant like sometimes we give away the same old people win. Sometimes I like seeing a new name that I've never seen win. So
yeah, absolutely.
Congratulations,
Karen.
And I don't require anybody to be here when they win, so she doesn't have to be here. I know we all have busy lives, and you can't sit here for 2 hours the whole time I give something away. So.
Right.
I'll write her name down, and we can get her information. Plus, I like surprising people. They'll come back and be like, "Oh, I won," and then
yeah. If you don't hear from her or can't get a hold of her, let me know. I'll get a hold of her for you. Good people. She's really, really a sweet person. She really is.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Even if you stop in here, hit a like for 5 minutes and get in the contest. It doesn't never bother me. I know everybody, especially women, you guys have to put your children to bed, and sometimes you can't stay in here the whole time or something like that. So
Right.
definitely understand. But I don't want you to miss out, even if you leave for 30 seconds or something and miss out on something that is beneficial.
Smoking on me a Rasta log.
Heck yeah. Some giveaways as well. Ladies' night. That's what I'm talking about.
Right on. Down cougar. No. Cougar hunter.
Cougar hunters.
Lady style. Right on, Shannon. That's awesome. I'm glad you guys are doing that.
The lady style.
Better quit spinning them. Some bitches come flying off and stick in my screen.
What is it?
My hemos.
What is a hemos again?
Yeah.
What is a
Hemostat.
hemos? Is this a roach clip?
Yep. Roach clip. Hemostats. Dankstat makes customized one. She puts a little I don't know how she does it, but she puts little trinkets on it, and you can hang stuff. She decorates them basically. Pretty much anything you want. I mean, just ask her. If she don't have it, she'll find it.
Yeah.
Or try to find it.
That's what she said right there. Awesome. Appreciate it. It's good to see you back. It's good to be back and see some of you guys in here. As we
Absolutely.
talk about mental health. And we also didn't know we're doing the Mental Health Monday every other week, so we're not going to be doing it every week. So we'll be back again in 2 weeks when we come back. But I have added another show with Coffee Time with Dan, so I'm kind of still doing the same amount. I'm just doing a little bit more variety. And Coffee Time with Dan is just going to be me, and Ross is doing his show too by himself. So, which is good. I like doing my own stuff and having mutual co-pilots as well.
Absolutely. We can individualize and collaborate.
But sometimes I talk so much that I don't. my brain just goes on and on with some of the knowledge it has in it. Sometimes
I don't mind.
I want not to interrupt it, so that's the show where I'm by myself, kind of let my brain flow.
Yeah, I noticed that this morning when I did. I didn't have that anxiety of interrupting somebody.
Yeah.
But yeah, we flow pretty good though. You know, that's what I've always noticed. We don't interrupt much. I mean, sometimes, of course, but that's great. But we're not so anal. We get pet. Dan, damn it, fucking quit interrupting me. No,
Yeah, try to put the thing on the day of. I should get better at kind of promoting myself 24 hours in advance, but usually it's like 12 to 18 hours. But I share a StreamYard too, so it's hard to do because sometimes if you plan it out too far ahead, StreamYard can screw up. As you plan it closer to the event. But yeah, I'm going to do more promos. Since I'm doing every 2 weeks, I can kind of make more time to do the promos. I didn't even know I was going to do this show until 2 days ago, and I was, like I said, I was feeling like I was vibrating again. Vibrating the correct way. And I really relate that on the medicine I take too. I literally bought a pill organizer last week, and it's really, I actually, because sometimes I take my medication and I don't remember if I took it later on. It's just the way sometimes my brain squirrels work. When I actually put it into a case with the actual individual, I can see when I took it. Then, I know that I took it. So,
right,
it really changed everything when I've been taking my medications, my herbal medications, consistently at the same time every day. It really helped my mental health and my flow too. My brain flow is working a lot better, and I'm not taking psychedelics, so it's definitely all the stuff working better.
That's kind of what I was referring to earlier, and what, and I'm guilty for it too at times, where I'll start feeling good, and I'll just stop taking my meds, maybe gradually, maybe one of them, and I'll start feeling off a little bit. It's like, oh, that's why I stopped taking them on a consistent basis.
Oh, we're still going to do the Psychonaut files, so we will do the Psychonaut files every other Thursday too. So that's when we'll talk all about mushrooms.
Right.
Just because I don't take them doesn't mean I won't promote them or talk about them.
Right.
I still always take them. I just don't as much as I used to since I found so much healing. But
I'm still on my journey, so I'm still learning some stuff about me. So I'm still taking them, and
but I still do
I'm
take
where Dan
them.
was a couple years ago.
Like last night, a Misfits After Dark, I did some before the episode. So I do them here once in a while there, maybe a dose every 2-3 weeks, but I don't plan them out like I used to.
Yeah, me too, Sandra.
It can be easy. Shannon, Mike just made it look easy. There is some luck involved too to not make it contaminate. But as Chuck says, or as I've grown mushrooms for 2 years, it can be a pain in the ass to grow mushrooms too. I've seen a lot of people quit. It's awesome that Mike got it the first time. He nailed it and got the mushrooms to grow. Not everybody has that luck. But really, it's about being cleanliness and cleanliness. That's the best thing about growing mushrooms.
There's a couple videos, Dank, out there on YouTube. One is called Heroic Dose, and the other one's called Microdose. If you watch those two, it'll give you a little bit more insight of what we're talking about a little bit. But they've helped me. When I hero dose, I get a good reset, and when I microdose, when I microdose, I get it kind of carries that on, and I'm able to heal for a little bit. I don't like microdose for the rest of my life. I'll do a hero dose, and for a week or two I'll microdose and just kind of get that feeling, stretch it out, and kind of do some healing. And it takes me to my inner self and allows me to heal.
I didn't know that story about Shannon. She said right there.
6 I locked up for manufacturing. Oh wow, I didn't know that either.
That was a long time ago. Almost 20 years, 17 years ago.
Should have told him it's just lion's mane, man. No.
It was a lot more serious crime then.
Yeah, that'll be our backstage, one of our backstage stories, Shannon. That's cool, guys, because sometimes, our admin team, a lot of times, actually daily, we can get up on here and have it not live. And we'll sit here in these boxes, and we can have the whole admin team here. That's how we have our meetings. And we can sit there and talk and sesh and bullshit throughout the day. And, it's fun because we can hang out with each other and get to know each other. And not be right there because we all live in different places. Dan's right. 2 hours away. Shannon and Mike are 2 hours away. Now, Steve-O, he's 2 or 3 hours away. We're all over the place. Wayne, he's way the fuck out on the West Coast. I don't know how the hell I'm going to get out there, but I'll get out there one of these days. But he's coming over this way, too, because we're going to go to the St. Louis Expo, and we're going to have a Misfit Island tent, 2 of them. So come on out to the Expo in spring. That was like a huge circle. I don't know where any of that was going, but that was my squirrels talking, guys. Started way over there, ended up right over here. So,
we're at the 2 hour mark anyway. We usually end our Mental Health Monday. We got through a lot tonight, and
absolutely
went through the kind of the science of love and talks a lot about different aspects of love.
Thank you, Shannon.
Definitely a subject we'll come back to because it's a lot. It's something you can talk a lot about. So, but appreciate everybody for joining us. Don't forget to hit those reaction buttons. There are a lot of people who watch us after the show is over, so much appreciate all that.
Absolutely, guys. Remember, we're responsible for our own recovery, and be gentle with yourself along the way.
For sure. But until next time, we'll see you guys the next Mental Health Monday again. That'll be in 2 weeks, and see you guys later. So don't forget to love yourself. Don't forget to forgive yourself. And with that, anything is possible. So see you guys later.
Much love, guys.